What's up, guys? Hope you guys are joining in. I just felt like it was time for me to go back and reanalyze a lot of the pairs. Just because when you get to a point where you've been looking at the same charts, things don't appear as clear to you. So, what I actually did was I reanalyzed Euro USD again, and you're probably noticing that it's different, as a different sentiment to what we were in. I was calling shorts, but my new analysis is kind of showing me longs. And so what I actually did was, instead of using one of the other providers, so you know how there's many Euro USDs here. So this is the old analysis. I kept it. I just opened up a new one just to get, to see if the analysis aligns, and it really opens your mind up to any biases that you have going into analyzing the chart. So I'm just gonna wait for people to get in. Um, in the meantime, I'm just gonna have this here. If you guys want, do the same thing. So I'm gonna go over the euro, the Aussie. We'll do the yen and the gold. Tomorrow's NFP, so it'll be like an NFP special. And I'm gonna analyze everything from top to bottom. And that will be that. And we'll go over what could happen. And yeah, so if you have any friends that are trading at this time, I know we live in different time zones. Right now it's 30 minutes away from midnight in Toronto. But if you have any friends that are in London or Europe, Dubai, wherever, send them this link. This session's gonna be 30 minutes, but I feel like it's gonna be of great value. So make sure you send it. If you can't hear me, make sure you tell me in the live chat, and I'll try to fix it. If you have any questions, shoot them out. So let's do it. Let's have a good session today. And yeah, let's get ready for NFP. I don't really recommend trading it. But this is more of just a I just felt like I wasn't doing enough because this week we didn't have that many setups, so I thought I'd give it back. So if you have any friends, send them this link. Let's get it. Let's flood up the chat. End off the week strong. Next week there's no NFP, there's none of that, so no excuses. We'll get some pips then. Any questions? Send them in now, just so I can get ready to analyze what I need to analyze, and we'll keep it moving. If the friend does miss it, these are processed 8 hours later at latest, and you can watch it then. I'll probably share it. But yeah. So I'm just gonna stop talking for a bit. Let you guys join up. Let people join up. I'll probably share the link through the Telegram bot now, and we can get started shortly. You might hear me typing. This is Forex Lens after hours, so it's gonna be a bit raw and uncut, but you guys will like it. Alright, sent it through the bot. Hopefully it'll relay anytime soon. But yeah, Euro is definitely looking like a buy now that I looked at it again. And if NFP comes out lackluster, we might have a nice setup to go along next week. Um, come on, come on, come on. Perfect. Got it. Alright, shoot those questions in, guys. We're still doing giveaways, so the most active, people that like and comment will definitely get in. Um, we'll have a higher chance of winning, a free month of signal service. But no worries for going live. I mean, I love trading. It's my passion. Even after I'm done work, I'm always on the charts, keeping track of our trades, updating. So it's become pretty much a lifetime thing. My day revolves around trading. Loving your thoughts. Thank you. Thanks for the support. Get a few friends in here. People that keep blowing up accounts, people that keep joining new signal groups. Give them a link to here. Uh, my first week calling signals, I think we netted 340. The second week was a bit slower, 120. I think this week we're probably gonna end off 70 pips. I told you guys my goal is 150 to 200 per week. I'm just getting back to trading. I just graduated, so I'm just starting. This is my first month back to trading. Give me maybe a week or two, and I'm really gonna start peaking, getting the nice entries. But I feel some of it coming back already, and we should see some good profits in the upcoming months. End off summer, right? So without further ado, let's get started. So I'm gonna break down Euro USD. During the live session, if you have any questions, send them through. If you need me to slow down or even pause, let me know. If you gotta step away and send this link to someone, that's cool. Just rejoin. Just help people out. I don't get paid for how many viewers watch the live sessions. There's no incentive for me to do this. I was just on the charts and felt like I owed you guys something better than what happened this week, especially since Canada Day was we took a day off. But let's get to it. So this is the new Euro USD analysis. I'll just go back to the monthly and show you guys how I broke it down. Squeeze this down. Alright, great. And zoom in. So I just used another Euro USD from Oanda instead of Forex.com. So my first change was drawing this descending trend line right here. Made sure I got all the wicks. That's good. And I drew near-term support, which is this region right here. 103, 104, 1.04 4-ish area, spanning to 1.0456. So that's our basically our support. We obviously see Euro starts here for Oanda in 2003, but that's cool. I didn't worry about too much over here since we're down here in price. So let's focus on what's close, and then I drew this right here, just to show that we were in like a descending channel. So in that regard, it does look like we're in a kind of a bearish move down somewhere lower, because we're making lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows continuously. And then that's when I went to the weekly, and on the weekly I plotted this region right here. This region encompasses 1.14,000 to 1.14,840. I kept it nice and tight just to get most of the wicks and the activity. So this would be a resistance, and let me just remove these arrows so you guys could see. And if we zoom in, what do you have it? We actually tapped this resistance on the 21st of June. So that was all cool to me. And I also draw this trend line right here, right through here, counting all the wicks. And I drew this trend line in past tense perspective. I believe I talked about this in my second session, where everyone learns the rule not to draw trend lines through candles, but there is an exception. So let's say we were trading, and look at the date on the 4th of February, right? So all we see is up to here. Okay, let's say this is all we see on our chart. Obviously our trend line would be from here, 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 right? Now let's say we kept this trend line, the same chart, and time moved on. Okay, so time moved on. Okay. So you see, we're just plotting it based on past, how we do in the past. As long as you keep things consistent over the timeline, that's all right. So now we're at our trend line right here, our downtrend. So that's cool. And then since September, of 2018, we've been in a downtrend, euro dollar. And now, once we have reached the end of May and start of June, we finally broke out. We had a nice bullish breakout, nice significant bullish engulfing. It's bigger than one, two, three, four, five. Whoops, the past 5 candles, and that signified a bull rally, which it did. And so that seemed all fine to me. I plotted this line right here at 1.11857 as resistance. Just a lot of wicks here, and this is also a pivot point, or a point where we did a reversal. So that's why I plotted that. And then we moved on to the daily, and this is where, this is our descending trend line, and this is where I drew our ascending channel. So this is where we had a trend reversal right in this area, a nice push up, come back down, retest, rejection, and then just a bull run. Made our first touch, higher high right here, higher low, higher high, and we're pretty much close to making a higher low. This could just be the higher low and we pop off, or we can actually come down to where this arrow is and then pop off. So this is why I said shorts just wouldn't make sense. My older analysis showed us that we were filling this gap, and in particular this gap from here to here. Let me just try to show you this because the quality might be bad. So if you're ever watching this, I want it to be clear. Arrow, cool. So I thought we were going to fill this gap right here, but upon further analysis, it looks like we've created support here. We spent basically the last day and a half at this region, and technically it is a higher low, so there is incentive, especially since when we look to the left, it was a previous resistance, that was a support. So this is why I said it's not worth the risk to short for 20-30 pips when our stop loss is like 50 or whatever pips it was. So that's why I backed out of shorts. And it's looking like we're kind of moving up now. I doubt we will see anything drastic to NFP, but this is why my sentiment changed. And I used to do this when I was just a trader, just trading for myself, and the old organization I ran. I used to analyze a pair before I sent out the signal. I'd remove all drawing tools, analyze it again. If I see the same thing, it was good to go. Any idea why gold skyrocketed earlier, now slipped back down to hovering 14.17? I believe I talked about that in today's live. I'll cover that now. So that's euro. Maybe tomorrow, if NFP is terrible, lackluster, we can just pop off. I will give updates. I probably won't sleep tonight just to give updates for this. Or we can slip down here during London, and a bad NFP could pop us back up. So that's euro. If you're in euro shorts, I told you guys, get out negative 4 or 5 pips, 8 pips. It's better than losing 50. And I do apologize for that, but I promise next week will be better. Gold. So yeah, here we go. I talked about this in our live session, and I'll probably remove everything and do it again. But we drew this descending channel right here. We got our first point, second point, and our third point. And this is where our support was, around 14.12, 14.13. And what we had was whoever caught this move, we broke out. And I believe on the smaller time frames, you probably retested, but we broke out off support and made a push, made a run at, somewhere up here. Obviously, you guys should know by now, anytime you break a key level, you want price to come back down, give a retest or a rejection, and a respectable one, maybe a bullish hammer engulfing, and then you can pop up to the upside. We didn't get that, so obviously shorts came back down, brought price back within this consolidation range. You can box it off really right here, this consolidation range. And we spent the 3rd of July up till now, so about the last 36 hours, just consolidating, no real movements. This was a fake out here. So if anyone, a lot of people like doing these consolidation boxes, especially during NFP, and what they do is they wait for a break outside the box. So let's say I had this box and we saw this break. Novice traders would be like, oh, we closed outside the box, it's time to short. They were too impatient to wait for the retest rejection, and they got bit hard. And same thing again, oh, we closed, oh, it's a bullish engulfing, look how big it is. It broke a descending channel. it's time to go long, they got bit hard. So this is why it pays to be patient, and it hurts to be greedy. So you got to get into that break retest. I know it sounds like I'm beating a dead horse, but it's gonna pay off. I don't know why it came back down. As far as fundamentals, Thursday was pretty dry. Yeah, just looking at it, nothing of importance really. There was a bank holiday, so maybe that's why we initially saw some USD weakness. But it just pulled back down. This just may be setting up for tomorrow's NFP, and what it's looking like. Just looking at the forecasts, 0.3%. The previous was 0.2. So obviously we want unemployment, average earning. So obviously this we want something higher. Non-farm employment change, we want it obviously to be greater than 162. If it's 162, USD is going to show some strength because last month 75K was very lackluster. We didn't hit that since May 2010. So that's what we're looking at. Obviously the forecasts are looking like a strong dollar. But if you just look at some of the past results, like for example June 7th, 2019, we had 177K forecast and we had 75K. So these forecasts aren't, like anything too accurate. They're all speculation based, and they could be right, they could be wrong. Sometimes you might win out, sometimes you might lose out, but it's always best not to trade the news. See the reaction, see the report, and then make your plays. So gold, I honestly think it's in the position to pop back up as a safe haven. Gold is a low-key safe haven. If you've read over the previous months, Russia has moved away from the dollar and used gold to back its currency. China's doing the same. Turkey's doing the same. So, yeah, a lot of people are investing into gold. Any other questions, let me know. But I don't really see much for gold for tomorrow for NFP. Yeah, we did come off resistance at 1431, but we didn't make that full fallout like we did here. We actually just, there was definitely buyers. There was more buyers in this fallout than here. Here was straight bears, and here we have a lot of buyers as well as sellers. And now it's looking like we're coming into some bullish presence, especially since this high still knocked off this previous high. So what we can be doing right now, let me just remove this box, and we can just draw something like this. Get out the trend line. Whoops. Get out the trend line. Draw something like this, and draw something like this. So we're at some sort of an ascending channel. Looks like we're bouncing back up. We might create a high higher than this. Definitely in an uptrend. Broke the downtrend. Now we're going to an uptrend. Based on what the fundamentals say tomorrow, we could have a pop off. But I do see it does look like gold is ready to pop off. Just the case. Just something to be wary of is this wick right here. It lines up with this wick right here, and it did serve as resistance. So if we're here right now for NFP, might have a pop up here and then just a fallout here. If the dollar is strong, then just a fallout to do what we did what we did on the left. But yeah, hope you guys are liking this session so far. So we did euro, we did gold. If you guys have any friends traders up right now, send them this link. Tell them to stop blowing out accounts. If they fell for these fake outs on gold, let them know why. I mean, get some viewers up in here. Let's do USD CAD. Someone requested USD CAD. I'm gonna strip it from top to bottom. Earlier, I was thinking of going in short again for us. But let's see if that bias still stands. So I'm gonna remove all drawing tools and do my top-down analysis, and we'll see what we have at the end of it. Close this down. Okay, so I look to see if I can draw any trend lines, any support and resistance. Uh, yeah, I could draw this trend line right here, even though it's sort of a reach, but yeah, you can draw this trend line right here. It's respectable trend line for the monthly time frame. Any levels? Yep, you can plot some near-term support here. I believe we can see some more clear levels on the weekly, and yep, so we do. Okay, so on the weekly action, I'm just gonna move this here. So it's a nice support zone, a lot of action. And can I draw any trend lines here? I can. So going based back on what I said, drawing trend lines in the past. This is one right here, and it played out pretty well actually. So somewhere 28 in August of 2017, we drew this trend line. Cool. We came here, broke above, had a couple of retests, shot up. Great. We can plot a resistance right here. I'm gonna use a horizontal line and put a resistance somewhere here. Okay, cool. Actually, we can do a better one right here. This is better. So resistance at 1.35756. That's great. Based on what I see right now, we're still in a downtrend. We're coming to touch this weekly trend line. If you go on Daily FX, TradingView, everyone has this weekly trend line down. Everyone's looking at it as an area of confluence, looking for the bounce. Based on this time frame, I don't see any entry to go short. Maybe we'll see one on the daily. So let's break it down to daily and see if we broke any key levels that we retested to. So this is why I wanted to enter short earlier, just because we had broken below this level, right at 1.30600, and right now we're currently retesting it with this. I guess it will look like a shooting star maybe. So what we want is we could actually have a nice risk to reward short to this trendline spot right here. Before we do that, let's look to the left and see if there's any miniature supports on our way to there. These places could be our take profit levels. So looking to the left, I see this area has a lot of wicks. Price came out of its own way to wick down here before it reversed. So I'm gonna say if we're going short, somewhere at 1.29749 would be our first take profit. Reason being, when we came down here right at this level where we were, when we made another push, we stalled here and bounced back up. We came here, stalled here, reversed, came here, stalled, used this as resistance. It was resistance, bounced off as support, and that's why I see that as one level. And if you look more to the left, area of major resistance in the past, dating back to March of this year. So that seems cool to me, as a near-term take profit for going short. So based on our daily, I do see a short. It's always great to trade with the trend. Everyone wants to be the cool guy collecting the reversal, but if you can get a couple trades in a week that are like 30 to 60 pips, you're winning, man. You're in the gold. So let's go onto the 4 hourly, see what we can do. Look for an entry. And you've noticed I have my MAs. I used to use MAs a lot. I usually go for a naked based trading approach, but I decided to go back into the MAs. It's just a nice confluence level. I don't really use it as the crossovers like most people do. I use it as a confluence of trend change, or respecting of a trend. So if I see candles are closing below the 200 EMA, or the pink one is the 8 EMA, then I know that our trend is still good. Even though I can tell by the charts, it's just a nice additive confluence. So anyways, going back to our 4 hourly and a potential short trade, let's just zoom in here, see what price action is doing. And this is what I mean. So we have a nice bullish hammer. I mean, look at this wick all the way to the bottom, mini body. Most people will think this is a buy. This is a buy, especially since we closed above support right here at 1.30600. but price came back down and kind of did a miniature wick fill. If you don't know what wick fills is, I will probably do a video on it, but there's already enough content out there. But this is what we're seeing right now, and prices trying to close again below. So what about our short opportunity? Well, we're still below the EMAs, right? We've closed below the EMAs for about every candle except for these. So from starting from this candle onward, we've closed pretty much below the EMAs. Great. What do I see as an entry? Ideally, we gotta knock off this wick. Do a wick fill, whatever it takes. So my sell stop, or if you're staying up tonight for the people in London session, um, look for price to close somewhere here. Close below this level. If you can get a nice fat bearish candle like this one right here to come here and close, I'd be more than enough to enter short without a retest. That's because we're going with the trend, and we're coming off. We already did a retest rejection already, so I rather just take the risk, and the risk is gonna be barely to any. What I'm gonna do for my stop loss, look for recent resistance or the previous high. So our previous lower high was right here. But if I look to the left, we see this area as some form of miniature resistance on the smaller time frames. So our stop could be somewhere here, right there. If you really want, you can ideally make it here. It's all really the same because we have a nice way to go down. And so for shorts, you could see something like this happen. Boom. So 1.98, our golden ratio is 1.35, and this is what I think for USD CAD. Obviously, if NFP comes lackluster, then this move is pretty much going to happen. If it's not, then we might see price come above this support and finally make its recovery. Who knows? If the NFP is really strong, it might reverse totally, and we might see different sentiment, right? And to determine that, let's just look at the 4-hourly, draw a trend line so we can see at what point we'll have a difference in trend. So something like this. So we have our downtrend. Basically, this is perfect confluence. You can actually make your stop a little bit lower if you wanted to. We have a perfect descending trend line. Great. We're still respecting it. If NFP is lackluster, fall out. If it's great, and we get a break of this trend line, a close out of it, a close out of this trend line with support, we might see longs. If it closes above our stop loss at 1.31 thousand, what a nice psychological level, then longs are back, and we could potentially have a nice swing long to God knows who where. But this is what I see for USD CAD. This is obviously just because we're going with the trend, so this is what I see. Longs, I just told you, but it's looking like a short. All depends on tomorrow. Whatever happens tomorrow happens, but Sunday and Monday, we can enter into some of these good trades and be on the safe side. So that's USD CAD. Any more recommendations? So we did Euro USD Gold, CAD. Let's look at CAD CHF. I mean, it's pretty basic analysis. I actually did this from scratch, so it kind of made sense to me. Just coming to a nice area of resistance, and we've showed some stalling, a nice wick up, unable to close, consolidating a bit. I believe this won't play out till London or maybe tomorrow, depending on NFP. We are dealing with CAD, and we have CAD data tomorrow. CAD unemployment rate and employment change, and also the Swiss is acting as a safe haven. So if USD, there's still investors have doubts about the U.S.-China negotiations, then obviously the safe haven is going to have strength and bring us home. But that's that. We're floating in around entry. You can elect to close out at 0 pips. We're at entry right now on the dot. If you want to close out, go ahead. Even close a portion. just for risk mitigation and management purposes, do that. I'm all for it. These sessions and these signals are just for you guys to get better at trading and be independent. I know we live in different time zones. We see things different ways. I get messages saying, "Oh, I saw this on the live setup. You didn't call it, but I got the entry. Thanks for the heads up." So it's great. Be independent. Just because I don't call a signal doesn't mean you can't take it. That's four pairs. Let's just look at USD yen. Even though the yen is just, I don't want to trade it, to be honest. You have USD that no one really knows what's going on with lack of confidence. You just seen, I believe, the British military service take possession of a Iranian oil tanker. So there's there's a lot of stuff going on at the sea. There's stuff going international with U.S. and China, U.S. Euro Iran sanctions, and so a lot of just uncertainty. So the thing about USD yen is if USD has strength, then yen will be weak. If USD is showing instability, then yen becomes a safe haven and it continues to drop. Going back on our old analysis, just because I don't feel like anyone should trade this right now, especially with NFP tomorrow. And last weekend, China and US over the G20 meetings came to a conclusion that they're gonna negotiate on something, or start up negotiations again. And we gapped up, we gapped down pretty low. So I don't want you guys to enter USD yen and then hold out over the weekend, and next thing you know, you get margined out because of slippage. But obviously, the bias is just from a price action standpoint, it is looking like a buy. I mean, so we've broke this support zone, consolidated, broke it, came down to this area of, I guess, secondary support, which we haven't touched since February. We spent some time here, basically February to March and April. Once April came, price pretty much got out of there, and it came back in our trading range. And it's respecting our weekly descending channel, which we've drawn right here, this long channel, and it tried to go back into that little region, that range between 105 to 107, but it just never did. It just popped back up, and right now we're just printing hammers within our support zone. So yeah, if NFP is great tomorrow, whoever's being ballsy and is in longs, you could really profit. Just coming from here all the way up, risk to reward if you wanted to. It kind of does make sense for a small lot to swing to, maybe the next swing high, which is right here. But this is playing with fire. You if you can avoid risk, you avoid it. We could see something like this happen. We are in support, so that's why I'm just saying price action is showing that we could go up. Actually, we gapped up. My fault. We gapped up. Gold is what gapped down. But yeah, who knows what happens tomorrow. But USD, and I wouldn't touch it, especially for a quarter 3, quarter 4, until a deal is met, just because it's acting like a safe haven. So this was, kind of an impromptu, out of the blue. I just felt like, doing something for you guys. I'm getting a live session in for people of different time zones, because we don't hold any live sessions on Fridays. I feel like Fridays there's just no volume, and it's not worth trading. Like this whole week, there was barely any volume, barely any movement, other than Euro Aussie. Everything else was consolidating, fake outs, whatever it may be. It wasn't a good week to trade, and I'm actually starting to think not trading this week, personally. But I just thought I'd do this for you guys. Hope you guys enjoy it. While I still have you guys here, please visit forexlens.com/trading-room to sign up for our new trading room. You can watch these live sessions all on that trading room. All you gotta do is apply for full access until July 31st. It's already the 7th. In a few minutes, it's gonna be it's already the 4th. In a few minutes, it's gonna be the 5th of July. So you have about 25, 26 days left. So apply. It's free. You're gonna have a nice portal where there's gonna be a chat. There's gonna be Bloomberg Live TV playing free of charge. You're gonna get a stream of all our signals. So I know a lot of individuals are struggling with our bot, it being down and etc. That's not gonna happen. It's all just gonna be streamed right there, all in one place, all the providers. You're gonna have all my live sessions there, my previous live sessions, even some of John's previous Ichimoku, GAN, all that type of stuff is gonna be there. So it's gonna be great. Get it in, get right in when you can. There's probably gonna be limited spots just because we don't want to overload the servers or anything. But yeah, get your spot, secure it now, um, and get some access to a nice portal. Our development team worked weeks on in to get it revamped and working, and we're really proud of it. So forexlens.com/trading-room. So that's that little, you know, I guess PSA. Another PSA. I said this in today's live session, but I'll say it again. These are just educational videos. I am not telling you you have to enter this trade. I'm just giving you advice. If I enter a trade or if I call a trade, I will enter it. Um, when I analyze the charts with you guys, that's the first time I'm doing it for the day most of the time. So if I do enter, I'm gonna enter it. But remember, we're not in an investment company or or a hedge fund or anything like that. We provide trading solutions. So trade money that you're willing to lose. Trade money that you're willing to grow. Okay, it's not about losing all the time, but keep that clear. And risk management. It doesn't matter what signal provider, managed accounts, or trading strategy you use. If you don't manage your risk, you're gonna lose anyways. I read this one fact. Your trades could be right only 33% of the time, and you can still be profitable. So do the math. If you're right half the time and your balance is negative for the week, then there's a problem with your risk management. Never risk more than 5% per trade. Okay, so stop trying to flip accounts. Stop trying to over leverage, and buckle down. Spend some time on the charts. Tune into some live sessions. If you don't like the live session, don't tune in ever again. Like I said, there's no incentive for me to do this. It's just at Forex Lens, I was given the opportunity to do it, so I said why not. I love Forex. It's my passion. So for me to do this it's a hobby. It's fun. So that's that. Euro USD potential longs tomorrow, depending on NFP. Gold might also pop off. Could go lower. If I went too fast, this live stream will probably be processed in 2 to 3 hours. I'll share the link. You can watch at your own leisure. Take down all the levels. But that's that USD CAD. Watch out for shorts. Hopefully you have these levels down, and I will see you guys tomorrow with some updates. We are still in CAD CHF shorts, but we're out of Euro. We're still in Aussie, in some drawdown. Gonna hang tight. I mean, we're 20 pips away from stop loss, so it could go our way, and I believe it might. It just might. But those are two trades we're in, and I'll have more updates later tonight. But I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you have any friends struggling, please share the link. It means so much to us. Comment. If you have any recommendations, comment in the YouTube comments below. What would you like me to do more? Would you like if these help? They all mean it. I'm not afraid of constructive criticism. So please don't be afraid to send that in. And I think that caps it off. Happy trading to those in London. For people in the Eastern, in the U.S. and whatnot. Hope you guys get good sleep and are ready for NFP tomorrow. So peace, and we'll speak on Monday.